Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. What is going on here? Why am I... Okay, hold on. Why am I making batteries here? This is a bad idea. In all seriousness, I think... Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure these batteries are pointless. Well, maybe not. Where are these going? These are going... Wow, this is a long belt. Ah, this is going to circuit 1s, which are no longer needed. I think. Because where are these going? Yeah, these are backed up. Let me just double check. They're going to... here? Which, unless cDNA needs circuits, it's not a problem. Though it might. They're going to trains. And they're going to the mall. Okay. So cDNA is really the only thing that's keeping any of this stuff needed. Yeah, we do need circuits here. So I think what I'm hearing is it's time to make cDNA somewhere else. Because I don't want to be making batteries here anymore. We're not making green science here anymore. Like, we don't need any of this crap. This whole build is dead. Because we don't need the liquid manure from it, we don't need the Zogna, we don't need the cyanic. We literally need nothing. So let's cut... I'm gonna cut the inputs here. And we'll just let it dry out. And then... I think... Does that make this entire AUG build unnecessary as well? We wanna let that dry up? I think so. Because this AUG build is running, right? I just want to make sure we're properly satisfied here. No, we're out of... Well, hold on. Yeah, we have 1.5 thousand AUGs. And we have 4,000 manure. Which the numbers are determined by this. Yeah. And this. Okay. So it seems like this is actually working properly, which is good. And for cDNA, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to make it here. I've already got petri dishes. So, and I've got everything else needed. So why don't we get cDNA automated over here real quick? And I'm okay just stealing some plasmids. Let's see. I'm gonna copy this, put it over here, and then we need plasmids, which Phoenix is still my issue, and Phoenix has antimony as the issue, and antimony is all going to lantimony, but lantimony is almost backed up. Wait, no, it's not. It's also going this way. Crap. Lantimony is not almost backed up. Ugh, this is painful. Batteries are a long way from being backed up, and each battery is one lantimony. When do I get the better battery recipes again? And those never get better? A battery is always one lantimony at best. And that one is 2 lantimony. So, lantimony is a huge problem. So I just need a bigger antimony build is what I'm learning here. Because these 5, I think, are running full-time. Man. Well, not quite full-time, but I think they're running as fast as they can. Because these are all running, so... I just need to make it a bigger build. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Okay, so... in that sense... cDNA might struggle a little bit. But we've already got retrovirus right here, and we've got plasmids, so it just feels very doable. And biosamples are already here, laboratory instruments, glassware, like everything's here. I mean, I've even got... that belt got busted up somehow. But yeah, I can do that to bring the glassware. Beep. Scooch this up. And then I think what I'll do is I'll put some retrovirus on a belt. This. So retrovirus, laboratory instruments, or I mean glassware. And then we'll do a requester chest, provider chest. And at least for now, I'm actually gonna let that be a channel 0. Because, yeah, I don't think we're gonna belt the cDNA anywhere. So I do need the substrate. Where's that? Substrate's right there. Yeah, I'll just have to use the bots for everything. Substrate's currently not in a requester chest, though, is part of the problem, and neither is... something else. Okay, let's get those built. This is the channel 1, so we should have good access on channel 1. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Oh, moss gene sample. That is something I'm not making on the network. Let's take a look at that. Moss gene... Ah! Wait, what? Ha! It's just called moss gen. That's so weird. Why is that? That's crazy. It's just petri dishes and moss. And it's used in... a variety of... People call this uplifting. I don't know where that term uplifting came from, but upgrading the mark of modules. I don't think I need it on trains. I think I'm okay with just putting it in a provider chest. Yeah. And are they made in one of these? They are. We'll do that. That. And we're gonna need moss and more petri dishes. And then the incubated petri dish problem makes me want to scooch this to the top. And then move all that to like over here. And then that'll be a provider chest. And then we've got the incubated petri dish problem, which is we need 5 incubated petri dishes. Oh, but it's so much better now because of the, you know, not spoiling while crafting. So as long as I have 3 buildings running constantly, it'll get the 5 to here before the phase is over. So I think I can actually do this, this, and this, and we can do direct insertion. Like that. Oh, shoot. This building needs to be one tile more over. And then shift all this over, shift that over, pick that up, retrovirus. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moss gene is out, retrovirus is out. That's out now. Biosamples we do have, don't we? Oh, sorry, that's on the wrong channel. So we need substrate, we don't need glassware. Laboratory instruments we're just out of, but that problem will be fixed. So substrate for you. Get that going. I think we're also gonna need moss. So you can be for moss. And then, so that gets moss. This one, we're just gonna do one of these guys. So these will be made available. And then we can do that, that, and that. So direct feed. And then the buildings will only run if and when it's needed. And then we have the filters for petri dishes. Oh yeah, this is going swimmingly. And then those petri dishes are here. These are going to be on the top side. These are going to be on the bottom side, which is not the right side, so I make these short. So now they're on the same side. And then we can do this. And then, let's see, I'll do that. And then we can do that as well. Ah! Spamming hotkeys here. Alright, do that filter. And it needs to go on the right side, which it is. And then we want input priority right. And now these can just feed in here, here, and here. And then these buildings run if... I mean, I think it's pretty simple, just if cDNA less than 200. And I'm actually gonna change this to just be enabled. We'll just fill up that chest. Okay, so that part's done. Let's get power to everything hooked up. Channel 1 for moss gene samples. Wait, we do have Petri? Sorry, I had to sneeze. No, we... Wait a second. Yeah, we have the full Petri dish request. Okay, so we don't need Petri dishes to do anything. So I could just request Petri dishes over here. But we're already belting them with priority, so that actually helps here, the priority system. So I actually prefer that, I think. And then, so what else are we missing? Substrate, the plasmids. are only belted. So that is a problem. Okay, I know this is weird, but if we do this, it'll take plasmids, put them into here, and then that will get provided to channel 1, which will end up going here, but then they can't... Once this is backed up... I forget, do logistics bots take turns? I don't remember if they take turns or not. I think they might. If they don't take turns, this will be a problem. If they do take turns, we'll be fine, because that means half will go to cDNA. Because what I don't want is for cDNA to refuse to run until we're backed up on Py2 Science. That is not what I'm looking for here. That's not what we want. Okay, and then why is the moss gene sample not running? Those aren't channel 1, that's why. There we go. Okay, so that problem is fixed. And then... that does that and that. These are also done, and then those are reliant on rubber. Or no, on Phoenix in this case. I think we're good. And I hope this is a big enough buffer for the spoiled microorganism stuff. Oh, and then moss gene samples will limit to like 200 for now, and we will leave that on channel 0. I think that's just good. I think we're good to go. Yeah. Okay. So cDNA is officially working. We just gotta change this to channel 1, power this up. And now it's just a matter of not ever having plasmids. Yeah, and I mean... what is eating all my Phoenix right now? I don't even know if we can easily answer that question. It does seem like it's all showing up here. How much are we requesting? It's probably a huge request, isn't it? Eight stacks, yeah. The good news is 8 stacks will show up at once when it does show up. How much do we have? 6.7 stacks? Okay, we're getting there. That might be the only thing that requests Phoenix. No. What's it called? Nexolite, antimony, lead, iron... Iron, nexolite, antimony, special alloy. No, we have a request for 300. Why is that not getting fulfilled? For what it's worth. Well, that's a good question. Because we have 676 provided. Now there's an interesting question. Why? Quest threshold 2, requesting 3 stacks, and I have none. Uh-oh. Now there's... Is it taking turns? You know, this could be a taking turns situation. I can't remember if that's how it works. I know Cybersyn has some sort of behavior like that. I wonder if it's smart enough to take turns on which one gets it, since they're the same priority and they're both requesting the same item. I think it takes turns, which is actually really cool. Yeah, that's actually really neat. By the way, how's this working? It's not. That's a problem. The swivel ones aren't running? Oh, those need small parts. I just totally missed that part of the equation. So I need another one of these on channel 1. Oh, someone also left a YouTube comment about a mistake I made. Let me go figure that out, and then we'll get back to the old Bitumen, our Lord and Savior. Okay, so the comment is from... Let me pull it up. Drummer Kid, just a heads up, one of the 90-degree AFH turns for flue gas near the extra limestone for chromium. Extra limestone for chromium. Aha! Thank you. I believe we've now done it. Okay. Yep, that one would have busted stuff up. Well, actually, what would it have done? No, the only issue there is we wouldn't have provided flue gas to here. We just were venting all of it. So that was not a base breaking one, but it was getting me less free acid gas in the process. Which right now doesn't even matter because we have too much, but... Wow. I love that we have full sulfuric. Such a good feeling. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Fixing this part of the automall. Channel 1, small parts. Yeah, 200's fine, actually. And that should get us rolling on the pipes. The pipes are calling. Alright. I'm really curious about if this is taking turns or not. I think it is. That's my only... That is my only explanation for what's happening here. Otherwise, this not meeting this request makes no sense. So I think it's going to provide to there, and then the next time it fills up to 300, it'll provide to here. I really hope that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, we're screwed. Alright, that seems to be working fine. I mean, the base is rolling. Good things are happening. Good things are happening, y'all. So we cut off that whole alg plant. Is that going to mess anything up? Like, in the long term? I don't think so. That was mainly just algs for batteries and stuff for green science. And we no longer are using either of those builds. So I think we're fine to just have disconnected all that. These cotton guts still don't have enough pups. Oh, we're out of Ralasia seeds. Now that I didn't see coming. There's an interesting question. Yeah. We're just not making enough Ralasia. I think that's what's going on here. Fair enough. Can't do anything to fix that without upgrading Ralasia, so I won't. Alright, back to this build. We still have some things to connect here. Why is that one backwards? Of all things. That's so weird. And why is this one backwards? What? I think I'm taking crazy pills. By the way, someone, sorry I don't remember your name, was talking about potentially recycling the water that we get from the tailings output. I just don't think that's worth it. The 150 water output compared to the thousands that we need in, I just don't think it's worth hooking all that up and using top-up valves and all that sort of stuff. I think it's far easier to just dump the water. Because the water cost is insignificant. My actual power usage for pump jacks is, over the last 10 hours, it's been under 5 megawatts. So water is basically free. It's not worth recycling, I think, is my thought there. You know, that doesn't need to be there. Neither does that one. Okay, so let's get this. Uh-oh. I knew I screwed something up. Shoot. Okay, well that's a problem. Got that contaminated with water. Alright, and now I haven't hooked up everything between the builds. So naphtha, we did hook up. And then we need the bitumen froth. Did we hook that up? We did. Okay. And then the tailings output, let's deal with that. And I forget what we had decided with this build. Are we providing tailings? What's this? This is requesting tailings as a top-up. No, I think we're providing... Oh, shoot. I didn't write it down. What are we doing with the tailings? Are we putting it in... here? Or are we just directly putting it to this first? Oh, balderdash. No, I think we're not outputting tailings to the train network from this. Yeah. I feel like what I could do... No, we're gonna have tailings as a byproduct from enough other sources. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so we're just gonna hook up tailings directly. So tailings comes down here. From there. And then goes up to that. So that's tailings. And then the bitumen can also make sulfur with it, which is worth remembering. Like, if we have extra bitumen anyway that we're not using, might as well use it to make free nitrogen and sulfur. So that's certainly an option. Excess bitumen to N and S. Is S sulfur? Is sulfur an atom? Yeah, it is S. Okay, I was just having a mental fuzz of like, wait, I forgot my chemistry. Is sulfur a molecule or an atom? It is an atom. Atomic structure 16, or atomic number 16. Okay. Anyway, I don't want that to be at the top. It can be down there somewhere. For now, the bitumen needs to be moved up and over, and we need oxygen in, which I have over here. And that comes over to here. So there's oxygen hooked up. And then this one is the cold steam. Or, let's see, wait, I need the steam for the multi-purpose cracker. Yeah, this is cold steam. So, this is the cold steam request. And I don't know why the request is so low. We want the full 75,000. So we'll have to do some fancy things with this, but cold steam for now. I might actually have a secondary tank with some top-up shenanigans and stuff. Because wait, we also need cold steam for oil sand slurry. Oh gosh. You know what I might do instead is a top-up valve here. So why do I have... Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna hook this up like this. Okay, and then... So the train... Oh gosh, hold on. What am I doing? Oh, I've screwed this up. Screwed this up big time. What a... I think what I actually need... You know what? Okay, sorry. A little bit of faffing about here. So what we actually want... I think I was on the right track in some ways. So that will make it so that all storage is effectively doubled. So if I'm reading 50K in here, we actually have 100K because it's in both. So we just want to request cold steam up to about 35K. So that's actually 75,000 requested, but these will only be halfway full via the train request. So we can basically, this is a top up to 50%. We'll top up the cold steam to 50% via trains. That's what's happening right now. Okay. So, shoot. I had this all figured out in the other episode. So then the main... we get hot steam out from the heat exchanger. So what we want is a hot steam buffer. I'm gonna use a big one for that because it's more valuable to not waste. So there will be a hot steam buffer here that will primarily go to the things that need hot steam, which is the bitumen cracking, and is that it? That might be the only thing that needs hot steam. Also, how did I miss that this needs cold steam too? I like completely missed that, I think, in the last two episodes. I was looking at these three, this one, and these two, and I missed that this one needs 875 cold steam as well. We need a crap ton of cold steam. Right. Okay, well, anyway, so the water's all hooked up. The syngas is not. Oh, shoot. Now I'm getting all discombobulated. Why don't we start with hot steam overflows into cold steam? So the cold steam here, we will have some sort of overflow of hot steam. And if that's the case, then we overflow and that'll get pumped into, but then we want a pump. And that will add in to the cold steam. So if we have too much hot steam, we'll turn it into cold steam. Okay, there we go. So that gets hot steam overflowed into cold steam. So that's one step that we'll need. But let's not worry about that yet. I feel like we're still not done hooking this crap up. Get rid of the water. Okay, that part's done. Bitumen in tailings. Tailings is attached to this process where it will run correctly. Okay. And those have overflows set up. So that's great. So we're done there. Now the outputs. Where's the button? I can never find it. So the outputs here, we've got bitumen output 1, and then we need bitumen output 2 for the cracking. I'll deal with the cracking in a minute. I just want to make sure these steps are all good. And then we need cold steam here. And that's cold steam line. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I could have done it with different types of pipes, but that's all good. And then cold steam's there. Okay. So that's cold steam input for dirty syngas. And we've got bitumen input for dirty syngas. Okay, perfect. So then dirty syngas goes and gets purified with the filtration media that we've already fed in, and then it outputs soot, purified syngas, and flue gas. Flue gas is not being handled yet. We did connect it on the back end, but we need a trasher for flue gas, and that's one of these. It's this channel right here. So flue gas is number 1. So that comes down. And then we do actually need one of these pipes made that way. So that'll go there. Flue gas will come up and attach to 1. And then we need a straight pipe somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that's flue gas hooked up and done. Perfect. Then we get the soot out, which I think we've already handled. Let me just kind of skim through that. The soot's going to be on the top, and then it flows onto that side of that one, which then flows onto the outside of that one. Okay, so soot's handled. That comes over. It's on the bottom here and goes into that. But first it passes by all these to make lead ore. Perfect. Okay, so soot's handled. So then the purified syngas that we just got then goes to become hot. Gets heated up in a wet scrubber with water and power. A whole megawatt. And then that becomes more soot and hot syngas. Then we have hot syngas, and hot syngas in your area comes over to the left. So why don't we, again, just trying to dot my I's and cross my T's here. We'll make that a leftward connection. And then the hot syngas needs to come up to here, let's say. Oh, wait. Not quite. I forgot about these attachments. So I'll do that one. And that one. That. Okay, so hot syngas on top is connected. Steam on the bottom is connected. And then hot syngas there connects down. And this is hot steam. Right? Yeah, this is hot steam. So hot steam. Flameo hot steam just gets dumped directly into there. And then the syngas, which is actually our primary output of this whole ordeal. We're definitely gonna, like, buffer a bunch of it. I might even need multiple stations providing syngas. I don't even know. Now, is syngas ever a byproduct? Technically, that one would have syngas. That one could if we would just wanted the methanol. Because what I'm trying to figure out is if I want this to go to the... to just a regular provider. I think I just want it to go to a regular provider. Like this one. So this will be for syngas. And then this is as good a place as any to have buffer. I think we'll buffer 500,000 syngas. Attach that up, and then we need a pump to connect through to, which one was it? This one. So this is regular syngas. And I think we'll just go through the middle here. No, you know what? I won't. It's cleaner to go up here. It's easier to see what's happening with the build later. Okay. All right, and that should handle the syngas output. And the hot steam, which is in here, and that overflows to get to the cold steam. And then if that overflows, then I guess we just exhaust vent it, though that's not gonna happen very often, I don't think. Because is that even possible? I don't think it's possible. Because this process used the same amount of steam that it produces. Right? Yeah, we used 750, and if we're counting the bitumen, we used more than that. So yeah, this cannot... I don't think this is necessary. I'll leave it in as a safeguard, but I'm pretty sure that should... We should check this exhaust pipe in like 500 hours, and it should have 0 products finished. It shouldn't be possible for that to ever overflow, but I just want to have it there as a safety valve. Okay, I think we finished that. Gosh, this is such a big build. I love it. This is really satisfying. Like I'm a really big fan of this. And now we need the cracking of this. So why don't we go up like 3 tiles? 2, 3. And then we gotta figure this crap out. So I need 13 DDCs, which have 2 in and 5 out. Oh my goodness. We're gonna need a lot of extra squares here. So... goodness. How big is 13 of these? So that's 3, 6. That's 12. This is a little bigger than I thought it was. Because I want to have storage tanks for all this stuff. And we're running low on, like, avenues to get through here with underground pipes. So I might need to have some tanks here. Condensates can be provided directly to trains. Those are handled. I don't think we need a big tank for condensates. And I guess given the rates, and we're processing all of that into coke and heavy oil. And then we're using that heavy oil. So I guess here's the problem, is when we're backed up on coke, we won't be making heavy oil. So there is a world where I need to use some of that coke to make steam to run the whole thing. Oh gosh. So many steps to this. Where is the coke itself going to be fed, by the way? We never set up a provider, did we? Nope. Alright, strong side provider. We're gonna have absurd amounts of coke flowing in from these buildings. This one processes all the residual oil back into residual mixture. So this one tops up the residual mixture, and then these 8 consume it. But then they make coking gas oil, which just goes straight to coke. There's so many steps here. Let's start with this step, and I am gonna just... Can we do a straight line? I think we can. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and I hope that's enough. Because we are gonna need... I think we're gonna need the clever tactic where we switch that horizontally. And then we do that. So that's high distillates, bitumen, and condensates. And those are connected there. Steam's connected through here. Low distillates through here, and medium distillates through there. Gosh. I'm sure this can't go wrong in any way. Okay, so condensates, I guess, are set up on 3. So that's here. And we can just plug those directly in. Trains will come to get the condensates. Right? No, all these need to have overflows too. Yeah, condensates will need to have an overflow. Okay, so there's overflow for condensates. This is hot steam. Hot steam needed in your area. Which is this one, but not... So I guess hot steam can be this. Or, I don't know, let's finish this row of buildings first. Okay, so then that goes there. And then those are bidirectional. So I should just be able to copy this, but flip it horizontally. And then that should perfectly connect everything. And now this is a block of 2 that should line up on both ends. Oh gosh. No! How many is that? We need 2 more. We're short by like 6 tiles. Look, you might consider this a sin, but it's what I'm doing. And you can all get over it. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. Oh gosh. Look, you gotta break an omelet to make some eggs, right? That's what they say. Okay, so then power all that up, and we got ourselves some DDCs. And the power hook's up there. Okay, so now the hot steam, we can have accessible maybe back here, because we've got this going down. So why don't we have one of these guys turn corner, and there we go. So hot steam's hooked up. Okay. Hot steam's hooked up. Now bitumen needs to be hooked up. I'm not gonna worry about splitting bitumen. It's very possible I should be worried about this, but I'm not. So there you have it. And then bitumen is right here. That works out perfectly. Bitumen's on the bottom, like that. Okay, and then we have the condensates taken care of. None of the distillates are taken care of yet. But that's now done. Okay. So now the things making coke is a much smaller setup. I might make it up here though, because I mean that's where the belt is. So why don't we set these up here? I'll leave some space. Gosh, this really is a huge build. Yeah, so I'll set up the 8 of these up here, and I will just arrange them. What is it? It's 4 total fluids? Is there a way we can arrange this where we don't need... No, unfortunately, we can't arrange it properly. Because the sides don't have the residual mixture, and the top and bottom are missing the cooking gas oil and the vacuum. So I'm gonna have to, again, do the thing where I leave a space. But I do think it'll be better if we rotate, because then we have 3 things on the top and bottom, and we only have then 1 thing we need to handle, which is the input here of residual mixture. So we'll do residual mixture in, residual oil out, vacuum in, and then cooking gas oil out, and then a power pole. And then that setup gets copied, and then that's 2 of them, and we need 8 of them. So there's 4, 6, and 8. I guess I didn't consider the coke. We'll deal with that in a moment. Okay. Then we need the cooking gas oil to go to 2 ionic upgraders. And these guys have very much a priority for the coke output. And then we have 4 mixers on the residual oil. Now these have ash as an input. Now here's an interesting, I missed that part. Can we guarantee the ash from coke burning in boilers? There is an interesting theory. What if I make a little block here? I just want to see the numbers. And this is, it's easier to plug it in Helmod than to do the math myself. So if I wanted to make 8 ash, that would be divide by 4.935. We'll just say 10 ash. We only need 14 boilers for that. And given how much extra coke I already have, and this also saves me on hot steam production needs. Okay, on that note, hot steam production from an oil burner. What if we needed 800? How much heavy oil is that? 246. How much are we making? 250? It's gonna be really close, actually. We pretty much use all of that heavy oil to make steam, don't we? Hold on. Or am I missing a number somewhere? That's 750. There's 2 750s. Right. So the heavy oil gives me 750 cold steam as well, which the numbers work out such that that's almost enough cold steam. But what am I saying? This process is closed. This basically converts cold steam into hot steam. That's all this process does. That's the way I need to think about that. And then this process, again, it uses... Oh, but see, we're saying 875 steam here, but that's to make 625 bitumen, which would run both at the same time. So that is factoring both running at the same time. If only one of them's running, we won't need the 875. So that's another good note to make. So when this one's running, we will need 500 hot steam. But we won't need the 875 cold steam. So the 750 cold steam is more than enough for this in the first place. And then we only need 500 hot steam, and then there will be enough cold steam from other stuff for these as well, especially from the coke oven gas. Because how much, if we use coke oven gas? Yeah, that's about 80 steam a second from the cog. 19.74, 19, that's actually exactly the right amount. So we need 2 oil burners to get rid of the cog and make more hot steam. There is all sorts of chaos going on here, and this episode's already getting long in the tooth. But I wanna get at least one more thing set up. We're getting there though. This is a crazy process. Thank you guys for your patience. We're getting there though. Okay, so this guy's set up. Hot steam and bitumen and condensates. Okay, so let's get the residual mixture hooked up. So the residual mixture... No, let's finish placing the other buildings first. I don't want to figure out where those are going. I think I want the ionics to be here at the end. Okay, and then the cold steam, water, and coking gas oil. I mean, I could shift them so the coking gas oil lines up nicely. So that's fine, I guess. But then we've got cold steam and water. So the cold steam was this one. Oh gosh. Okay, this is actually free to shift over to here, and I will. Okay, so this is cold steam. I feel like this is gonna be a little bit of a nightmare to try to balance all of the steams. Okay, but there's cold steam connected. Now, water for these is pretty low. We're talking like 1 pump jack, so that's super chill. Okay, so there's those inputs, and then we've got 2 oil burners making hot steam. Gosh, what am I doing? 2 oil burners making hot steam. The 4 mixers need the boiler input to consume the residual oil and turn it back into residual mixture. So why don't we get these set up? And these need cold steam as well. So why don't I set those up here? And these don't utilize coke, but they do utilize tailings. Right. Okay, so there's these 4. And I can't see anything anymore. Residual oil and steam. Okay, so the cold steam is here. So I'm just gonna keep that on the same tile. And then the residual oil comes from 2 places? It comes from this and from... wait. Oh, the residual oil also comes from the heavy oil compressing. Right. It also comes from stripped distillates to light oil. But that's back in Kimsai. Okay. So then that residual oil... oh god, it's so dark. When did it get so dark? Get some lamps up here. Okay, we're getting there. So steam, why is that? Okay, that is connected. And then the residual oil. What's the rate? 2.5 a second in and no items out. Okay. So what is that? That's water. We don't want that to be hooked up. So that one only goes that direction. Okay, so then we've got residual oil hooked up here. And that residual oil is easy enough to just T-junction here. And then L-junction there. Now, do I want to top up here? Maybe. I don't know if it super matters, because the goal is to consume all the residual oil no matter what. I don't think that matters. Because the residual oil only needs steam and ash and then turns into more residual mixture. The residual mixture is the one we need to top up. So the input of the mixture, which is coming from all the way down there. Did I pipe the mixture anywhere yet? Where even... Did I even hook it up? How did I hook up so many things and forget the mixture? 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's just not hooked up at all. Okay. Well, that's easy enough to fix. I am gonna run it, I think, up along the side on the left there, though. Which means this one is gonna be that. And then we're gonna have to call this an episode here in a second, unfortunately. Oh, wait. This is a problem. Shoot. Dagnabbit. I'm actually gonna have to do this. Which messes with the power poles, but that's fine. Okay. Now you go that way. Boom. 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 You only go left. Okay. So there's residual mixture. Messed up my nice and even power poles. Oh well. Okay, so that's residual mixture, and then that needs to be topped up into here. Boo, boo, boo. All right, where's the T-junction? Residual mixture up. Green. Green. How high up are we going? There. Okay, residual mixture, top up. I don't know why I put overflow valve. Top up to 50. So that means the residual mixture that we get from recycling the residual oil will always get used first. Okay, we gotta call this an episode. We've made some seriously good progress, and we fixed some other variety of things. We might even have gotten cDNA running. We did. We do need to filter that on cDNA though. And just put those petri dishes in a chest to be forgotten to the sands of time. But yeah, we actually got cDNA running, so that feels like a bonus. cDNA is now officially like on trains, so I like that. And yeah, we will keep working on Bitumen in the next episode. We might get it done in the next episode. We're getting close. Pretty much all the buildings are in, and now it's just about getting like the belts and pipe connections. But it still might take more than an episode. Look at this build. This is Bitumen. I am digging this. I am a little sad about this. Do I care enough to try to fix it? I might be able to if we scooched this over as much as it could go. You know what? I might do that. This is our chance. If we're gonna do it, we should do it. Okay, well, we'll figure that out in the next episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.